Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Claire and I'm your host for today's show. And we've had some good news for you. We have some good news for you. Yesterday, Manchester United announced Andre Santos as the new summer transfer signing, and the one and only, because they haven't done anything. And also some news which are like rated at 80%, that United is also pursuing Tielemans. We have a lot to unpack in this video. Please, before I go anywhere, before I go deep, I dive into today's show, let me remind you to subscribe if you find value to these conversations, and also like and share. Also leave a comment if you want, if you like. Now, let's dive into what United has portrayed as a slow start to summer transfers. They have had a slow start, yes, but it looks like they're catching up. United actually announced Andre Santos as a new signing. He signed a contract which is going to last until June of 2031. That is 5 years. And there is also a possibility of extension for an extra year. This guy, he is only 22 years old, but his stats are out of this world. Let me dive into who Andre Santos is and his accolades. He captained for Brazil up to under 23 level, and he won FIFA World Cup in 2025. Last season, he represented Chelsea 43 times and registered the highest pass completion rate and the most progressive passes per 90 minutes of midfielders under the age of 22 in Premier League. He also spent the season before on loan on Strasbourg. He was the captain, and on multiple occasions he scored 11 goals and contributed 5 assists. For a midfielder, this is not bad. This is not bad statistics, okay? Him scoring 11 goals and him being a midfielder and having 5 assists, I feel like he's done pretty good for his name and for his role. And also, one of Santos's biggest strengths is his eye for the goal. Just like I just said, he had 11 goals in the season, which means he's not just like getting balls from the defensive department to attacking area on the box. He can also shoot from the midfield and scores. During his impressive spell at Strasbourg, he regularly timed late runs into the box and scored from midfield. Something Manchester United have really lacked in recent seasons. And also, this Andre Santos guy, he has a tactical versatility where he can play as a number 6, which is a defensive midfielder. He can play as a number 8, box-to-box midfielder, and also he can be part of a double pivot. You understand? So he's versatile. Like in this field, he's a versatile guy, and also he can be an advanced midfielder when required. So him being a young player, 22 is pretty young when you compare to his teammates like Luke Shaw, who is 31. He's not really that old. So that's what Michael Carrick wants. And also there is a possibility of exploring Tielemans. I recently saw, it was like a few hours ago when I was looking at Fabrizio Romano's post. I've seen likes of Luke Shaw and Zirkzee. I struggle to pronounce his name. Zirkzee. Okay. I've seen their likes. So that only means there is a possibility. Maybe some talks have been advanced. Maybe he's doing the medical test and they've seen him, and you know, there is a 90% confirmation that Tielemans is coming to United. In the space of the past few days, United have announced, not past days, past hours, they have announced Santos, after abandoning their deal with Atalanta for Ederson. And they triggered the release clause of Aston Villa's midfield engine Yuri Tielemans, as I just said. However, Ineos are still looking to bring in another midfielder and have set their sights on one of the World Cup breakout stars. This World Cup have produced many stars, more than any other World Cup. Like, it's crazy. According to the Italian journalist Nicolo, even Manchester United have made inquiries for the Ivory Coast international Christian Inao Urai, who was at the heart of most things that were good about the Ivory Coast in North America. We have, about this one, I am not really so sure on, him coming. I am not sure. I am not so sure. And before I go to Nico Williams, let me talk about Tielemans, okay? They're really Manchester United is taking shape, as we've had a slow start, and the frustration from fans were like, what are you doing? But now, they're advancing, and I feel like they will shock us. They're going to shock us in terms of signing. They're going to shock us. Now, so far, this summer window, the Red Devils have missed out on signings of Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, and Mateus Fernandes, while they tore up the agreement for Edelson due to medical issues. Now, fans were slightly worried, but, considering the new season was only a month away, with the new head coach Michael Carrick desperately short on options. And thankfully, Ineos finally woke up from their slumber, and in some style, closing deals for Andres Santos, possibly Yuri Tielemans very soon, and also Karl Darlow. Now, Karl Darlow, he knows he's going to be a number 2, because we have a typical number 1. We have Tielemans, but we also need like a balance. We need his substitute. What if something happens? We need, a substitution. Now, before talking about Tielemans, I wanted to talk about someone else, Nico Williams. United have received some optimistic news in their pursuit of Nottingham Forest fullback Nico Williams. And also, United remain on the hunt for a new left back as part of a succession plans for Luke Shaw. Yesterday, I was talking to you about his age and how people are, like, fans are expressing the dissatisfaction, if that's the word, that what if, like, he's not fit enough. Maybe I could agree on the fitness part, but the age, I don't think age is really an issue when it comes to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is an old guy. He's just turned 31, but I don't think him being old has anything to do with his performance. What I would say, though, is his fitness, because this guy struggles to stay in shape. He's always sustaining injuries. So I feel like that could be the debate, the discussion. So now the option of Nico Williams could become a better help for Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw is currently the club's longest serving player and is also coming off an impressive campaign. Shaw started all 38 league games last season of 2025-2026, and he became only the 5th player, United player, to do so in the Premier League era. And also, Williams has made 142 appearances in the Premier League to date and has registered 4 goals and 8 assists. As a fullback, that's not bad. That's not bad, really, because his position is behind there. But the fact that he has these goals, 4 goals and 8 assists, yeah, that's to be proud of. Now, with the new signings coming in, there are also options of players leaving. I mean, like Rasmus Højlund. We have obviously Casemiro left. Casemiro's contract came to an end, which was okay. And then so we have Jadon Sancho. We have Marcus Rashford, which is his departure or him staying. We don't know anything about it. No one is talking about it. And it was always expected for United to have a busy summer camp. I mean, a busy summer for this coming season, obviously, because the fact that we qualified for UEFA Champions League, they're participating in UEFA Champions League, that put so much pressure on them. But also as a big team like Manchester, it is expected that every starting of the season, they have to, reinforce. Now, Michael Carrick has been obviously insisting on revamping the midfield department, but Ineos, they were aware of the need to balance the books with player sales, with Rasmus Højlund, the only major departure so far. Player sales, they are needed in United. They need money, because we've seen Manchester opting out of big deals like players like Mateus Fernandes because he was of a higher price. So for that, saying that, they need funds. And where are those funds going to come from? They're going to come from selling some players. Casemiro and Jadon Sancho leaving means the 20-time English League champion Manchester United are saving a lot of wages, but they need more. Okay, Marcus Rashford is expected to leave despite Carrick's offer of reintegration. And also we have Mazlaoui, the Moroccan international. He is expected to leave, as the former Bayern Munich ace can play both a right back and left back, and he has also been deployed as a midfielder at times. According to exclusive information obtained by Africa Foot, Milan AC has made Moroccan international Mazlaoui one of its priorities. Now he would be going to reconnect with Ruben Amorim to strengthen the right back position during this summer transfer. Now, before the green lighting a sell, United need to take a stock of the players at their disposal. Currently, Michael Carrick only has Diogo Dalot as a specialist right back, not to mention the lack of backup for Luke Shaw, that's where Nico Williams would come in. And let me specify this again. Let me insist. Luke Shaw's age has nothing to do with his performance. I don't think his age has a lot to do with his performance, only his fitness. Now, before I even go to like the preseason, okay, we have another, we have like some other news, okay. We've had, obviously we talked about Tielemans, we've talked about Nico Williams. Nico Williams is seemingly to come in to help Luke Shaw if he's not expensive, because as I said, Manchester is really dodging any bullet of expensive mistakes. But I don't know why they call them expensive mistakes, because if you're signing a player and you know they're going to help you in the rebuild, I don't think that's an expensive mistake. But also we've seen them signing players. Let's take an example like Paul Pogba. You remember by the time Paul Pogba was signing for Manchester United, he was the most expensive player in Premier League to that time. And I don't know if I'm too confident to say he was a flop. He did his one or twos, but he didn't live up to his expectations. That's just me, because the guy was very expensive and he could sustain injuries here and there. And, that is hearsay or not there. And let's talk about United and them pivoting to getting new signings after obviously dropping out of Ederson, and now they have announced Andre Santos. They are yet to announce Yuri Tielemans and Carl Darno, as I just said. And Manchester United have triggered the release clause of Aston Villa's midfielder Yuri Tielemans, who now looks to make a move to Old Trafford, having been a star performer for club and country over recent years. Now, Aston Villa's only way to prevent a move after the release clause being triggered is to offer a new deal, but with the midfielder wanting to move to Old Trafford. They're effectively powerless at this point in preventing the transfer taking place. And, we are seeing United's midfield revamp finally taking shape, and there could be even more good news on the way if recent reports are to be believed. And now let's talk about this summer. after missing out on Elliot Anderson, missing out on Tonali Fernandez, like they're targeting many different players. Manchester United have also wasted no time showing Tielemans love on social media. That could only mean the guy is coming. That could only mean we are like on 90% of his move to Old Trafford. It could only also mean he's done maybe medical tests. It could mean he's done he's done all the possible, like the medical test, the physical fitness test, and maybe they're just waiting for a few things and then they would announce him. Because when you see players like Luke Shaw and Joshua liking the post, it would only mean you are edging to closing the deal. So in later hours or later days, coming days, we could see a possible, announcement of him coming. And the preseason training at Carrington has officially kicked off in the last few days. And the players are coming in phases, obviously, after their summer breaks, beginning with medical assessments. You have fitness testing and gym sessions before moving into full swing in training on the pitches. And those who participated in the later stages of the 2026 World Cup have been given extended holidays and will rejoin the squad later in the preseason. Now, I want to ask you one thing. I want to talk to you guys about one thing. Let me find out. Let me ask you one question. Do you remember who the oldest player that Manchester has ever signed? Like, do you know a player that United has ever signed? Because I remember Cristiano coming back, his second time, he was like 36, I think. Yeah, I think he was 36. Who is the other player that was of an older age? I don't know. I don't remember. But let me try to find out, because we've seen people shaming ages in players, and we've seen Cristiano Ronaldo facing backlash because of his age in the World Cup. But don't you guys realize you can be of a younger age and still not perform? Like, do you guys realize that? You can be a young lad and still underperform. So I don't think really people like being older means they cannot perform. Okay. And obviously, before I leave, Santos arrives as one of the Europe's most promising young midfielders. He's an impressive lad, okay? He has a ball-winning mentality. This guy, the energy in the midfield is yeah. And about Carl Darlow, United are close to finalizing his deal, who is going to be he's going to serve as Andre Onana, number 2, as help to satisfy homegrown squad requirements. And also we have other news of Manu Kone. Manu Kone, yesterday I talked about him, but I really doubt he's going to be like our top priority. I don't think. Anyway, he remains a reported target with competition from Liverpool, yes, but I don't think Manu Kone is really Michael Carrick's. Since they have already announced Andre Santos, I don't think Manu Kone, of course he's young, 25, and he caught attention of 2 English club giants, which is Liverpool and United, and I don't think that they're going to, of course they're looking to add a third midfielder with Kobe Mainoo, their only senior option, and also Casemiro's departure and Ugate's long-term injury. So they're not going to sign only one midfielder. They're not going to sign only one player, but they're exploring a move for Kone, who is in his prime and has proven himself at the top level of football. The physically imposing midfielder started 28 Serie 8 games last season, which is impressive. He helped Roma secure Champions League football after a 7-year gap. And also United is facing Liverpool, as I just said, who are also keen on signing the Frenchman. Well, the Reds really completed the pre-agreed signing of defender Jeremy Jacket before beating Newcastle United to signing forward Victor Munoz. They're also looking to bolster their midfielder and believe Kone to be a good fit. So now you're wondering, is Liverpool going to let loose? I mean, are they going to lose to United? I don't think that's the case. But before I leave, let me talk about the friendlies or the preseason campaign that has officially begun. The squad has returned to work, as I just said, and the preseason schedule includes friendlies against Wrexham, we have Rosenborg, we have Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, and also we have Leeds United, not forgetting Milan. So these matches will help integrate the new signings before the Premier League campaign begins. And, that's really about it. We are just waiting for any more signings. And about the World Cup today, we have only one game, which is slated around 9 Eastern Time. France against Spain. And we have England and Argentina playing tomorrow, same time. And we are just looking forward to this game. I am looking forward to this game personally because I want my team, I want my players who are now in the World Cup to at least get to the final. So we could see England going to the final with France. Let me give my prediction. I think Argentina is going to win, only because yes, it's a good team. Messi is a good player. But also they have another support. I can't say so much. I digress. They have so much support from other areas. And I think that is going to help them tremendously during this World Cup. And when it comes to France and Spain, this is a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. And I'm very excited to actually watch this game tonight. I'm going to clear my schedule. I have to watch this game. And I feel like France has more chances than Spain, because judging to the game I watched last time of Spain and Belgium, and Germany, I feel like France has higher chances. So my prediction is France is playing Argentina in the finals, and that's where I end today's show. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share the video if you care. And also, you could think you're a subscriber, but also like YouTube sometimes removes you because they think you're a robot or AI. So they remove your subscription. So please double check and see if you are a subscriber.